Hi, I'm Russ McCullough, and I'm here to review the MyEconLab format for doing your homework and test problems. So I'm going to share my screen here and work through this short tutorial. Here is the main course page. I have a whole bunch of courses here from other ones I'm teaching, so you might just have one, or more likely you'll have a direct link from your Blackboard page that will link to the, if you're using Blackboard, which most of you probably will, you'll link directly over to the MyEconLab to this page right here. So this will be kind of your home base. Along the left panel is the buttons that you'll have for your course, and this dashboard gives you some information on some upcoming homework and tests. The e-text is the next button here, and by clicking complete e-text, it'll bring you to the textbook that we're using for the class, and it's run through the Pearson interface and allows for highlighting and changing, and there's some buttons you can do here to rearrange how it looks, zoom it in, zoom it out, 2 pages, etc. So back on, and then you can keep that tab open if you want to reference it later. Another link, just working our way down, the e-text chapter links. So if you want to go to a specific chapter, chapter 9, there is, or I'm sorry, chapter 7. You've got do your homework, some other links here of stuff that'll bring you to other places. The e-text chapter you can jump right into. There's PowerPoints and other things, animations for some of the figures in the text. You click a button here, you're in chapter 7, you're wondering what homework you have, then you can look at what's on deck here for the chapter 7. Just working my way back through the links then. Let's close this back up, go to the main menu. The buckets and circular flows is an additional supplement used in some of your discussion boards and other questions. It's kind of a snapshot of the economy. It starts off with our Tom and Jen example and then moves through the rest of the world and kind of tying things together on how markets work globally. And so some of these will be referenced as we go through in different chapters. Homework and tests, if you click this button, it'll bring you to all of the material that's required. It's all divided into 8 modules, which for people who are working in an 8-week system, these would be your 8 weeks. For those of you in a semester system, it'll just be on the however these modules are assigned to dates. And I've got the chapter numbers listed here as you work through the textbook material. So that was homework. Here are the quizzes and tests, again, for each of the material. To show you a test here, so let's, oops, that was the study plan. I might as well do that since I clicked it. This is a way to practice up on what you know, and you earn these mastery points, which is part of your homework, but you can also earn these by just taking your test or doing your homework. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. I did want to show you just what a test looks like. So once you click it, you'll get a little note here. I'm ready to start. There's a time, 75 minutes. All that information was there. And this particular test has 20 questions. It'll pop up this little interface, and then you start to do your answers. I'm just going to select some answers here just to get a feel for it and work through. Sometimes there's graphing problems, or you have to put where you think the answer will be on a point. So here was the graphing function, which you'll use. There's a tutorial at the beginning to learn how to make the graphs and add the numbers. Okay, I'm going to submit this test. It says I've got unused portions, which is to be expected since I'm just trying to run through this. You get a quick result of the questions you missed. Hey, I got number 2 right and partial right on question 3. So I'm going to go to my results, And you'll notice that on this test, I have 7.5% so far. My overall score for the class is 8.2%. Now, the thing that you got to bear in mind here is that that only takes the items that you've attempted. So that was test 1 out of 8 tests, so we're not very far into the course. But of what we've done in the course, since it was just the one attempt you made, you're currently at an average score of 8.2%. If you end up skipping items and you get a big fat 0 for them, then that's going to, your instructor is going to be putting in a 0, and that's going to drag down your average pretty quick. So that's a little interface of the buttons. There's the 8 homework. If you drill down to the homework area, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the quizzes. Now, the study plan, how this is set up is you'll get 3 attempts for the test. And in order to do that, now that I've taken test 1, notice there's a little red flag here, and you're going to get this warning. In order to do the second attempt or future attempts, you have to have a 50% or better on the homework. By the way, the homework's pretty easy. You either did it or you didn't, so you can get that pretty fast. But we're trying to avoid people who haven't even touched the homework in order to do the second attempt on the test. And then you do need to earn 9 of 9 of the mastery points in the study plan before you can make your second attempt. If you earned, when you took the test, if let's say you earned an 80% on the test, you may have earned some of these mastery points for the ones that you nailed. And what's nice is when you go back to the study plan, you will already have filled up some of this. So you're not going to be wasting time on things that you know in theory. Maybe you got lucky on them, but usually there's a couple different attempts for it. But you will only have to do the target the areas that you're struggling with to get these mastery points. So how this study plan works is you can do some practice. You could take the quiz right away. There's a simple 5-question quiz, but here there's 13 questions. Again, you kind of go through. Here you can check your answer, notice, on the study plan. So I just grab that. It says, whoops, sorry, you're not correct. Here's why, here's the correct answer. And then you close. And then you can go to the next one, or you could select another answer there. So check answer, I was wrong, here's why. And so this is meant to be a learning tool for you as you work through. And then once you feel like you have mastered the material, you go in and take the quiz, Quiz Me. And as long as you score sufficient on this quiz, you will earn the mastery point. You've mastered this section in the chapter. And so you'll take this 5-question quiz and hopefully earn the points. So I'm just going to close out of this. And this way, you'll be working on the areas that you're weak in and not wasting time on things that you hopefully already know. Back in the main menu, to go directly to that study plan, you can click this tab, and that'll bring you to all of those. You can also show the sections that were mastered, and also get to the future sections too. Grades, if you want to check where you're at on your grades, here will show your progress on the tests or on your homework. You can go in and out of the homework at any time to start and stop. The rest of these document sharing may or may not be used by some. The multimedia library has, for different chapters, different types of interactions you can do. And that's about it. There's some email communications that your professor may or may not use there, since if you have the Blackboard home page. So I did want to show you also the homework. Within the homework, there's different types of assessments. And the dynamic study module for chapter 21 brings up this interface. And so again, this is your homework. You can continue working on this until you get as good a score as you think. And so you click these buttons with what your answer is. If you're, well, I'm not sure about this, or I don't know altogether, I think it's this one or this one, I'm pretty sure it's not this one, and then you hit submit. And you go on to the next question. And the system told us that one of those is correct. And per capita GDP. So it's okay to go in Let me see, real GDP by the population. Yes, I got it correct. Congratulations, you just completed your first question. And then you keep working through this progress or through these questions, and it's going to keep asking you those questions until you've mastered the content. And so here's a little progress report. Again, you can save and get out of this and come back at a later time. So throughout the week or before the due date, you can kind of come in and out of this material. Over here, I've got the lecture notes of the PowerPoints for the chapter. So if you want a quick review of the chapter content, you can pull those up, and you actually get a point for just clicking this button. So your homework point is here. You just scored 1 out of 1. Boom, submit. Once it loads up, hit submit, and you just scored some points. So there's some easy points. These homework are meant to be the gimme points of the course. You do need to work through them and get through them, but there's unlimited attempts. One of the other new things that this won't be for all of the homework modules, but we have these dynamic interactives of working through unemployment. And so this will give you some other challenges on almost like a video game format of figuring out who is unemployed and why. And here's a little story about Sarah who works 40 hours. And so it's a very interactive homework problem. And then there's some more traditional problems here that might be more of a graphing type of problem or an application. So that's what the homework would look like. You keep working through those problems and you will get your gimme points for the test. And that about wraps up our quick overview of the MyEconLab. So hopefully that will get you a good start and a good start to the semester. So hope you enjoyed. Happy Econ. Bye.